Over the past few weeks, EA has sort of become the embodiment of the phrase lies beget lies, and that couldn't have become clearer than with the latest Battlefront 2 debacle. In my last video, I talked about EA CFO Blake Jorgensen's pitiful excuse for why Star Wars Battlefront 2 features loot boxes with gameplay advantages rather than cosmetics-only loot boxes. While I'm against the idea of loot boxes of any kind, especially in a premium AAA title with a premium price tag, there's no denying that cosmetics-based loot boxes would have certainly been a lot better than whatever the hell Battlefront 2 pulled by basing the entire progression system around pay-to-win loot boxes. Had EA decided to choose the lesser of two evils, they wouldn't be in the precarious position that they're in now, and Battlefront 2 might have at the very least been tolerable. Speaking at the Credit Suisse Annual Technology, Media and Telecom Conference, here's the explanation that Jorgensen provided. The one thing we are very focused on, and they are extremely focused on, is not violating the canon of Star Wars. It's an amazing brand that's been built over many, many years, and so if you did a bunch of cosmetic things, you might start to violate the canon, right? Darth Vader in white probably doesn't make sense versus in black. Not to mention, you probably don't want Darth Vader in pink. No offense to pink, but I don't think that's right in the canon. Yeah, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand how this excuse makes absolutely no sense when we are talking about a Star Wars game that takes characters from multiple eras and pits them together in the same battlefield across various planets and locations, some of which certain characters may have never stepped foot in. The very concept of Battlefront 2 is about as non-canon as you can get, not to mention how hypocritical it is for Jorgensen to talk about the importance of not violating the canon when EA itself hasn't been afraid to desecrate it when it suited their financial interests. Case in point, Star Wars Kinect, which featured shit like this. I'm solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, solo. Not violating the canon, huh? Get the fuck out of here. But Jorgensen's excuse didn't just reek of bullshit. Recent developments indicate that it is straight up bullshit. Shortly after Jorgensen made his statement, data miners discovered that Star Wars Battlefront 2 had a hidden customization menu in the game this entire time, likely waiting to be activated for a later date. The discovery was made by a user going by the name of Uninspired Zebra, who posted a video showing it off. In its unfinished state, the feature only allowed the user to customize clone troopers and Rebel Alliance soldiers, with other factions showing a blank screen, but you get the idea. As the footage shows here, you can give your troopers different skins, or give rebels different heads of various races and species such as Sulistans, Nikitos, Quarrens, Rhodians, and Twi'lek. So basically turns out that EA did in fact have plans to implement a customization system akin to the one found in Battlefront 1. So the excuse that Jorgensen provided stating that a bunch of cosmetic things might start violating the canon is now completely moot and invalid. It's also worth noting that Battlefront 1's customization system proved that you can implement a bunch of cosmetics without violating canon. You don't need to go as far as implementing a pink Darth Vader when Star Wars canon gives you so much material to work with. But even if certain cosmetics do break canon, so the hell what? As I said before, the very concept of Battlefront is as non-canon as you can get. So who will care if they add the option to make Darth Vader a different color? Hell, I would welcome such a feature with open arms. It actually sounds kinda cool and fun. I would play the hell out of a pink Darth Vader. That sounded better in my head. At the very least, it's certainly not any worse than giving Han Solo this hideous beard in the canonical single-player campaign. The bottom line is that the canon argument was already full of holes by itself, but now with a hidden customization system uncovered, we know for sure that Jorgensen wasn't just pulling pathetic excuses out of his ass, he's straight up lying to us. He said that they can't add a bunch of cosmetics, but turned out that a bunch of cosmetics had already been planned and added into the game this whole time, which goes to show that EA could have easily done a cosmetics-focused microtransaction system if they really wanted to, especially with how much cool and unique cosmetics you have to work with in the vast fictional universe that is Star Wars. But naturally, they went with a pay-to-win progression-focused loot box system instead because they saw the potential to make tons of money from exploiting players. The fact that Jorgensen's suggesting that giving players the option to play as a pink Darth Vader crosses the line, but exploiting players with predatory practices doesn't should tell you just how much greed has blinded and corrupted the despised game publisher. But you know what? Fuck it. EA's greed finally got the best of them. Their plan failed catastrophically. They have accelerated the stigmatization against microtransactions and loot boxes in AAA titles, and now the company is being dragged through the mud by Star Wars owner Disney, by the gaming community, by media conglomerates, and by government officials around the world. So good fucking riddance, EA. I hope it was worth it, you lying, conniving sacks of shit. With that, I would like to end this news update. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this video insightful, and if you enjoy my content, consider supporting me on Patreon to help this channel stay independent, self-sustained, and free from corporate influence. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.